So it's been a little under a week since Raids 3 came out, and I just wanted to give my initial impressions of the content and how I'm feeling about what has just been released. I'm honestly pretty happy overall with the release of the raid. Like, in terms of bugs, it wouldn't appear that there was actually that many, which for Jagex is pretty fucking good. Normally there's tons. But people would have none this time. The artwork seems great, apart from a few things just seem like lazily done. Like, dude, that crocodile in like an orange brick. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that's just immortal to all damage, and it will chew on your tree. Yeah, that one. But other than that, I think the artwork looks great. Like, on Baba, you can see it, like, when Baba breathes, you can see, like, his whole, like, rib cage and innards moving. I think that's really cool. Like, you normally don't get that kind of graphical detail in this game. And I think the art direction was perfect. Everything is amazing. Beyond that, I want to first get this out of the way. It's what I think everyone already knows, but I'm not going to give them a free pass for it. The state of the servers, it's just unbearable. For me personally, I just do not find it enjoyable, no matter how good the content is, playing this game when the servers are as bad as they are. It just makes me log off. It really does. I want to play the game, I do, and I get on and it takes ages for my clicks to register. I think a lot of people don't understand. It's not your ping, it's the performance of the server. So there is a little plugin on RuneLite that can help you called Tick Tracker. You'll see it in a couple of clips that I show. It's the percentage underneath the ping and FPS, and that's just the percentage of ticks from the server that are delayed. So, like, normal servers, probably like, what, 88% is acceptable. Anything below that is just horrible. And ever since Raids 3 came out, even on any, like, UK world, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm getting like 66, 69% in some cases, and it is just horrible. I just don't want to play on it. I just don't think we can keep giving them a free pass for this. I don't care that Modash is tweeting out, like, that, oh, so-and-so is invested in, so-and-so is more interested in investing money into the game and fixing these servers. And I'm not singling out Modash, I'm just saying as an example. I don't care what they say anymore. I need to see some action. Something needs to be done about it. It can't keep going on like this. It just can't. But moving on from that, because if we talk about servers, I'm going to be here all day. I'm just going to go room by room and say how I feel. It's going to be pretty much a ramble. I haven't got anything wrote down or anything like that. I'm just, getting the thoughts off the top of my head as they come. We'll start with Baba. I think the monkey puzzle room is so misplaced in this raid. I think it's the only part of the raid to me that is really unenjoyable. It's probably the only room that is extremely unenjoyable to me. I feel like the exploding monkeys, you have such a free, like, time to get in, pop them, and get out. Like, they are not dangerous at all. I think that they should work like crabs on Verzik, exactly. Like, you need to be good with crabs on Verzik or you're going to get hit. These monkeys, you can run in, stand there for like 5 seconds and run out and they won't hit you. So I think that needs to be changed in order to make it more enjoyable. Like, regardless as to whether you have more invocations on or not, that doesn't help. I also feel like in the room in general, you're never really in any danger, solo or in teams. Like, there is no present danger in that monkey puzzle room at all. The monkeys don't really hit you. The missing the specials, like, you get hit maybe a fair amount, but it's really hard to miss specials. Like, the time zone is extremely fair. And the room just feels really slow. And I think what they could do to improve this, like, just on a baseline level, is do the changes to the exploding monkeys, of course, and make more of them spawn. Like, it seems like the limit of monkeys in the room to, like, start the next wave is really small. So there will never be that many in there. I want tons. I want an armada of baboons in there with me. And, if the raid level's lower, you can just make them hit less. And on top of that, why are these baboons 5,000 defense? we need to lower the baboon defense, okay? You want to increase the HP? That's fine with me. But damn, dude, why are these things made out of adamantium? I cannot put some of these baboons down sometimes, even if I'm hitting them with the right style. I feel like a good couple invocations for this room to... Because, you know, that's what Raids 3 is like. It's a framework and they can add to it. I feel like a good invocation to add to this room to, you know, make it harder or make it more engaging for the upper end of the player base, because you know, you say you want to cater to all of them. I think it's pretty casual at the moment, the raid. I think a good invocation to add would be like the 4 pillars in the room have health, and you also have to defend those pillars. Like, that would be an invocation, like pillar health is added to the raid. And you double the spawn of the monkeys. Half of them come for you, half of them come for the pillars. So you have to defend the pillars, do the actions, and stay alive in the room. I also think there should be one for a penalty for hitting the monkey with the incorrect style. So like if you hit a ranger with magic, it nulls the monkey, and now you just have to wait X amount of time until the monkey will eventually disappear. But it's still going to be there and you can't hit it. I feel like that is a cool invocation that they could add to help that. But other than that, I think the room is pretty bland and boring. Now, Baba himself, I think is a cool fight. I like the whole Donkey Kong, you know, bananas being thrown down things. I like the boulders, but they're a bit jank. I like that you can boulder skip. That's really cool that is in there. I like that you can share the boulder throw with monkeys as well. I think you can share them with a sarcophagus, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that like whole room is good. Baba's shadow attack is a bit free to avoid. Like, it doesn't seem as though it's, you know, difficult to avoid at all. But it's a good mechanic. The invocations that you can add on, drop a banana on the floor, yeah, it's kind of toxic. The insta-death pit, I think, is the funniest thing in the game. In my Discord, we have death screenshots turned on, so when, you know, someone dies, it posts a picture in the Discord. And the pictures of people falling into the pits is just really, really funny to me. They're just really fucking funny to look at. Because it just takes you for your full health, and I don't know, it just makes for a funny thing, but I can understand why people don't like that. The other invocations don't really change, but like the boulder moving quicker, whatever, shockwave on the floor, doesn't really make anything different. I think to add to this room, I would just make the shadow attack a bit quicker. I would also give Baba another attack. I just feel like he's a bit one-dimensional, you know? Maybe another invocation that, you know, gives him a different style of attack, so, you know, you have to flick prayers or something instead of just camping melee and whatnot. But yeah, I think this room is fine overall. I know a lot of people that absolutely hate Baba, though. Like, it's their least favorite in the raid. Me, personally, think he's pretty good. The next room is the Crocodile. So you've got the tree puzzle beforehand, which I think is pretty cool. I like that if you do like these certain entries, you can do it tick perfect with a team. Like, all the team can pick up the water at the same time and bring it back. You can stay in cycle. I think that's great. I was hoping there would be a bit more to it, like a bit more of a sepulture run to get to the water instead of just a straight line, which is... I don't know, I thought that was a bit of a letdown, but I'm fine with it the way it is. Maybe with invocations it adds more to the room. Like, in the future, like I say, you could add more invocations to this room where, like, it adds another floor or, like, another road to get to the water. Like I say, the art style for this raid is really good, but those brick crocodiles, those orange crocodiles, are the ugliest things I've ever seen. There is just a yellow crayon on the floor with legs. It looks terrible. I don't know how I feel about that one. But the room overall, pretty fine, pretty simple room. You just have someone protect the tree and, you know, you run and get the water. Now, Krondis himself, I initially did not like this room. I thought the jugs were a bit janky, but honestly, the more I've done it, I have found that I really rather enjoy the jug mechanics. They do feel kind of strange at the beginning, like you feel as though they don't work how you think they should, but I found the best advice to make the room go more smoothly is just using the blowpipe, pushing them and using the blowpipe for the instant pop. If you use like a bow or a sang staff, the travel time really can just mess you up. You can also roll them diagonally, which I don't see most people doing, and you can roll them into the rocks themselves to stop the scream, and they pop on the rock, which is fantastic. The wave dodge is really cool. The flicking the prayers at the end is also really cool. I like that. I'm not really sure what is best in slot in the room as well. I've been T-bow, blowpipe. I tried the scythe. I don't know. I like that you can BGS him down a bit as well and make the room go a bit quicker. The invocations you can add to the room, I all like there's the blood magic where you have to flick it if you give it to him. The blood spawns is cool. What was the other one? Oh, radius of healing of blood magic. Like, yeah, okay. The only one I have not turned on, and I don't think I will turn on, is upset stomach. Who the hell is turning that on? I don't know. I do not know who is turning that on. Not me. But yeah, I think the room is great. I like the look of it. To add to the room, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you could personally add to it to make it more of an engaging room. Perhaps you could do an invocation where he's, he's swapping sides of the room, like, he has the ability to move from, like, 4 sides of the room, and you have to, turn and only attack him with melee while dodging waves. That'd be a cool thing to add. Whether it's possible for them to do, I don't know. But overall, I think the room is cool. He looks cool, very pog, and I want that pet in the game, so please work on that. The next boss is, what's his name? Akka. I really like Akka. Now, the mining puzzle I think is fantastic. I do like the mining puzzle, apart from the orbs of darkness. Dude, those things are so dumb. I have died in this room to those things. I have died because I refuse to move when I'm mining the rock, and they will just come over and hit me for everything. But yeah, I really like the room. I like the way that you are also rewarded for having 99 mining. I like that if you spec with the pickaxe and you time it perfectly, you will always get a 1 down. I think that's fantastic. That is great game design. It's better than the stupid bronze pick always hitting 20s. I like the variations of the room as well. It seems like there's quite a few different things that you can add, a few different rotations of the mirrors, as opposed to just like a set 3 or 4. I'm not really sure how many there are, but there definitely seems to be quite a few. I like that you can also put the pickaxe in there. Now, the boss fight itself, I think, behind the final boss is my favorite. Like, especially when you turn on his ability to randomly switch between attack styles and protection prayers rather than at set intervals. I think that makes the room so much better. So my advice to anyone doing this is turn that on and turn on the what's it called? Feeling special, where the you have to move to different sides of the room when a special attack goes quicker. Turn those 2 things on. That room is extremely fun. I love the way it looks. It seems like there are some really interesting metas coming up as well, with people being able to 5-tick dance around a quarter of the room with the new staff and not get hit. Awesome to see. I don't know. I think for this room in the future, I would like to see an invocation where the floor itself is turning, and you have to stay in the sections whilst all these special attacks are going off. That'd be cool. Also, I'd like to see them do something more with, like, when he's got all his shadows up, like, it'd be harder to tell than just like, oh, one is grey and then the other one's colour. I think that'd be a cool thing, like, if you had an invocation where you have to see something on his body, like, I don't know, he's wearing a fucking different pair of boots or whatever, and, like, it's, like, related to the attack style. Something to just, increase the tri-brid. I think that's what really makes this room fun for me. You're with that changing randomly, you're, like, constantly tri-bridding, you're on your feet, you're thinking about it, because that dude can smack. He has put me down for a 47. And if you have the double specials on at once, like, where you can't go back on your own trail and you have to go to the 4 different quadrants, dude, that is really cool. I'm honestly extremely happy with Akka. I think he's a great puzzle, and a great room. I really enjoyed doing him. After that, we got Kefri. I think the puzzle room for Kefri is really cool. Like, you've got the 3 stages. The only thing I would say is I wish there was more variation in the answers to the questions of the puzzles. It seems like they, like, sorry, let me say that again. The table is always the same. I wish the table was different. Like the floor. As in, like, you know, the one where it's like, oh, the answer is 37 and you have to figure it out. I wish that was varied a bit more. That would shake the room up a bit for me, make it more interesting. The boss itself, I think Kefri is not a fun boss. I feel like a lot of the things in the room itself don't really do anything. And the boss itself is a tank. Like, the boss is just ridiculously hard to hit. If you don't have the Breach of the Scarab jewel, it is horrible. It just seems to take a long time. And the invocations don't really make the room any more difficult or challenging. It just makes it more tedious. Like the one where it's got shield scarabs spawning constantly is just annoying. Like, giving it another one is aerial assault, where you get more, it gives it more damage in a larger hit area. That doesn't really change anything. In larger teams, you can just DD and completely negate that. Dung Special, twice as potent, once again, doesn't really change anything for the room. Giving the eggs an ability to hit you doesn't really change anything as well. The only invocation that actually does something is more Overlords, where when you phase Carefree, you will get like a melee and a mage and a ranger. You will get more of them spawning at once. I like that. That's cool. But the mage bug, the one that does like the charge up attack in the corner, if you don't get it to move or kill it, it just lets out an ungodly blast. I feel like that thing is too tanky. To be honest, it really does feel like you can't kill it sometimes. Like, I have dropped 3 claw specs on it, and it is still there in a solo. But it's funny when you see people die to it. But I would like to see that thing have less defense, more HP, so it, you know, encourages you to drop a spec on it as opposed to just hitting it with a rapier. The room, to me, though, personally feels like it is just too easy. The dung sections where you get, like, you know, blocks off part of the room can maybe add a bit of a challenge, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just the boss being too slow and too one-dimensional. I would like to see some more attacks from it in the future. If we're going to add more invocations to the raid, I think I would like to see them go in that direction where Kefri, you know, is like... When I saw the model for Kefri, I thought it was going to roll around the room and you would have to, you know, get out the way of it, but it's just static in the middle. I think that would be a cool thing, like an invocation adds like Carefree phase 4, and he starts rolling around the room, and you have to fucking shoot him while he's rolling after you. And if he rolls you, dude, you don't want to get rolled by Carefree. I think that would be a great thing to do. But all these ideas that I'm putting out, I don't know what the limit of the game engine is and what they can do feasibly. So yeah, this room for me is a bit of a bust. And after you do all these little rooms, you have the woman who gives you all the potions. I think smelling salts are cool. I like that you go to 125. The scarab is like a prayer enhance, but not really. It seems to give you prayer in like interval, like big chunks as opposed to like one at a time. It's definitely interesting. The bandages heal you over time, like 5 HP. I always have that turned off, so I don't use them, but yeah, they're cool. Then you've got Bruise and Restores. And then you've got Ambrosia, which is the most broken potion in the game. Ambrosias to me seem incredibly strong. I don't know how I feel about them personally. I don't know. I would like perhaps there to be an invocation where Ambrosias aren't as incredibly strong as they are. Like, perhaps there should be an invocation where instead of an Ambrosia having 2 doses in a flask, it should be 1 dose, and instead of healing you to 125 prayer and HP, it should be 99. That could definitely be a way to help balance that, but as they are currently in normal raids, they are just simply busted. It's I'm going to die, just kidding kind of potion. I feel like the amount of salts you get as well is quite high. You always seem to end, well, me personally, I always seem to end up with like 12 different salts. So yeah, maybe turn down the amount of salts you get. But I feel like that is okay. I know you could turn on the occasions where you just get nothing from that person. So yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, you need the new jewel to be able to do the raid. Moving on to the final boss, the Wardens. I like P1. I like that you have to off-tick them and you have a choice of which Warden you spawn and like how they start out and their like features towards you. I think that's really cool. The problem I have is the obelisk is just too strong in terms of its defense. I don't know, man. I feel as though if you don't hit a BGS and you scythe it, that phase just takes way too long. Way too long. Maybe there will be some more metas defined in the future that helps that problem, but right now I'm dropping... This is in a solo, because I've done about 80% solos. I'm dropping a BGS on it and 2 claws, and then I'm scything it, and sometimes it just refuses to die, and I just take unnecessary damage from the balls that come down. I don't know, though. It feels definitely kind of slow. P2 itself is pretty cool. I love P2. Like I say, depending on which side of the obelisk you block or off-tick, makes a different warden spawn. So ideally you want the one that is weak to range or not praying against range to spawn. So you can, if you do a 2 down, you can do range, mage, range with your attack styles. And the Twisted Bow absolutely rips that thing. Holy hell, the bow puts him down in like 5 shots. I really like the idea of what they've done with the core as well, in terms of, you know, dude, the DDS is best in slot. If you got adrenaline, you just rip with that thing. I like the idea of the core. I think it's fantastic. And the art room of the room itself really reminds me of Morrowind. Like, the wardens look like Dagoth there. I don't know if anyone's played that game, but I played it recently for the first time, and it really gave off that vibe to me. But yeah, the core specking is really cool. I like that you actually have to think about attack order, spec order, last hit weapons. Very cool. And then all the specials that the boss can do is cool. It's kind of hard to see sometimes unless you look at your chat box, the attack that takes down your prey and you have to pray against it. But I think that is more of an issue of me just getting to grips with the content as opposed to it being bad. P3, I think it's fantastic. I think P3 is extremely enjoyable, and I wish the raid was more... How do I say this? I wish the raid followed the design of the final boss as opposed to what we have seen in the demis. Now, depending on which warden you killed as well, is like the demis that show up. So if you killed the one on the left first, I haven't got the compass up, so I don't know. But if you killed the warden that starts with range first, you'll get Akka and Kefri, and if you kill the one that starts with that you start with mage first, you'll get Zebek and the Baba. If you get Zebek, it's more of a reactionary thing. You have to look what he's shooting you with and react accordingly. But if you do Akka, it's just a three attack cycle and switch. So it's whichever you really prefer on that one. Ideally, you would do Akka, so you, like say, you get the 2 down. But the final fight, really cool. I like that if you turn on Insanity, it just goes crazy quick. Like, the invocations really do affect how easy or hard that boss fight is in terms of the speed and the pacing. I like that it makes the game have a good diversity of players that can enter and get into this, which I think is what is needed in raids. Me personally, I think the raid is a bit too casual friendly and it doesn't cater to the upper end, but I understand why they have done that, and I'm happy that so many people are getting to enjoy the raid that they have. Because I understand that the raid is a framework and they can add to it. That is fine with me. It's not the direction I would have gone, but I understand why they have, and like I say, I'm just glad that a lot of people that are never done this stuff for enjoying the game and able to do it and by themselves or in a team. I just wish that they would have, with it being the first release since TOB, I wish that they would have really considered the other side of the player base, because I do feel like the high level PVM side of the game is going the way of PKing, in a sense that it's becoming a really small community, which it already was to begin with, and it's only going to get smaller in time, even if the game grows, because if there's not content that challenges players, then you really do have to find someone that is looking to challenge themselves, as opposed to the challenge being present. They have to find it. But I understand it's a framework, and we can add stuff in the future that, you know, helps improve that. Final boss fight's great. I like the look of it. Yeah, very, very impressed with that. Overall, I think the raid is good. For me personally, I think it's a bit of a mixed bag, but like I say, I understand that they can add to it, and we'll see the direction that they head in. In terms of rates for purples, like, I don't know what the rates are, so I'm not even going to speculate. The one thing that I will say is I don't think you should be able to get purples on anything under 150 raid level. I think the entry level should be exactly like TOB. It should be for learning the raid, for understanding the mechanics. You still get your standard loot, so there's something there for you. But I don't think you should be rewarded with the ability to get a billion GP weapon for learning content like this. It's endgame stuff. You can't be giving endgame weapons away. It's just the way how I personally see it as. And I don't think I can be changed on that opinion. I just think it's bad, because you're going to kill prices so quick if you're going to get them from entry level. And the picture itself on the board is stupid. It says that if you don't have 150 raid level, that all of these uniques that you can get, apart from the jewels, are like grayed out, like you can't get them, but you can. It just seems like they didn't know what they wanted to do, and last minute they were like, oh, entry mode, you can get it. I don't care if it's insanely rare. I personally feel like it should not be dropped. You're going to look at the price of the ring already. It's not even been a week. How long is Dex was like 80 mil for years, and the Avernic is still 50 mil, and it's been years. The ring is so strong. People don't think they've comprehended how strong that ring is. And it's already dropping, because it doesn't matter how rare it is from entry mode, the amount of people that are sending the content, the entire game is doing Raids 3 right now, pretty much majority-wise. I feel like that is a massive oversight. The base 150 raid is already so forgiving and so easy to get into. I feel like entry mode purples are not good. Now, the standard loot themselves, I think is great. I really like the standard loot. This is from the perspective of a dirty ironman, but, you know, dragon darts from an actual source for an ironman, absolutely fantastic. I've done 57 raids, and I have 1,000 D darts. Dragonstone, Snapdragon Seeds, Ranars, Torstals, Blood Essence, all fantastic stuff. The Rune Pouch edition is fantastic. The Cache of Runes is great. I feel like the standard loot is a real good fit between Chambers and TOB. Like, TOB standard drop table is so disgustingly good, and then Chambers can be a bit underwhelming. This seems to fit right in the middle. I'm very happy with that. Even if I was a main account, like, I always feel like you get something of value, unless you get like triple fucking gold bars. I'll tell you, take a sip. But yeah, I think that this raid is good for the game, personally. I hope that they continue to add to it, and we'll see where it goes from here. Overall, I think it's great, but I will not be doing it if the servers are the way they are. I will not be doing it. So Jagex, good job, keep it up, change that brick crocodile, the orange motherfucker, fix your servers, and I'll see you soon. I just wanted to get this out, you know, a week after release to get my feelings out there on the topic. This is my first video as well, doing a ramble like this, so we'll see how it goes and see what you think. But yeah, peace.